Hi there, and today we're having another look at Lego Archaeology. A few months ago I got this minifigure on the front of a Lego City magazine, and he was an adventurer, and I thought he could be an archaeologist in my Lego City. So I had a go at making some sort of archaeological dig site, and living on the south coast I thought he could discover some Roman remains. This is what I came up with, and you can watch that video. I'll put the link in the top corner of the video now. But I was never really happy with this as a Roman mosaic. It doesn't really look like the Roman mosaic floors I've seen when I've visited various places around the south coast, so I thought I'd revisit it and give it another go and make it look a little bit better. So first I looked through Lego's catalogue on brickset.com, and the closest I could find to any sort of archaeology was a paleontologist, and that was in the Lego Fossils set, which was an ideas set from 2021. And so I thought, well, I'll buy the paleontologist and the parts that go with it, and we'll have a quick build of those. Then we'll get back to the mosaic. Well, here's the two minifigures from that set. So here we have our paleontologist. He's got a that's the originally was a lipstick piece, but it's all in black in this set, so he's using it as a pen, and you can see he's drawn a picture of a bone and some writing in his book here. So this is his special paleontology book. He obviously does all his research, puts his research in. Then also we had this skeleton with the other dinosaur skeletons, and it's a regular Lego skeleton, but it's got this nice little plaque saying Lego Sapiens on it, and for some reason he's got a Indiana Jones hat on. Also bought a few extra bones because I thought we could dig up some bones along with our Roman mosaic. The other item, because I got the sticker sheet with the dinosaur names on it, I did also buy some tiles just in case I'd want to use them for something in the future, but not for this project. So there we have our paleontologist. Not sure how useful he's going to be. Maybe he can help the archaeologist. We probably won't be using the skeleton at all in this set. The bones might come in useful, but most importantly, let's get back to the mosaic. So the next idea I had was obviously using tiles, and 1x1 tiles. Obviously mosaics are made up of little square pieces of pottery or whatever they made their mosaics out of. Modern mosaics made out of different materials, but this size 1x1 tile compared to a minifigure is pretty giant. The only way I'm going to get a decent pattern is by making this mosaic absolutely huge. So then I came across someone online who had been using these wedge cheese slopes. Now they've discovered it's not entirely perfect, but two of these cheese slopes on top of each other like that is approximately the same size as one of these. So if you stack them sideways, so they won't be clicked in onto these, won't be clicked onto studs at all, but if you lay them sideways, you can then get more intricate patterns. So I thought first job is let's try that theory out and make a little frame. So I've got one of those here, and I'm just going to make it 4x4 to start with. So I'm going to mark that off here. So we've got our 4x4. Now that is 2 plates deep, and if we put a wedge slope in there, you can see it does sit higher than the bricks, but I'm hoping that with a tile on the side, those two then marry up quite nicely at the same height. So what I'm going to do a row of tiles around the outside and then drop some slopes in and try and make a bit of a pattern. So we'll get on with that. So there we have a border going all around the outside. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just do a row on each side of the wedge cheese slopes. So to enable them to be held in place, I've got two 2x2s here. I'm going to pop them in the middle and pop more greys on those, and then we've got a little channel to pop the wedges into and see how that looks. Well, it took an incredibly long amount of time to do that. It was very, very fiddly. It's difficult to put them in. The initial ones went in very loose, so this way, running along that way, they were quite loose, but these four up here, once I put those top ones in, all those four locked in place and they didn't move at all after that. Putting these last few in was also very fiddly. I was trying to go for a zigzag effect, so we got the white zigzags and then turning the corner, the white would carry on along this side, but I got these four upside down. The white should be at the bottom and the brown should be at the top, obviously. The principle is sound, but I think it's going to need to be a lot bigger to make any kind of decent mosaic pattern. Just a 4x4 grid is obviously not enough. However, that is completely smooth along the top. It looks good for a tiled floor, and I think our archaeologists would be happy to discover that if they were looking for Roman remains. And you can have a good old look at the floor that they found. So we'll put that little bit of green around it, see if we can make it look good. So just before I add the green around it, I just thought I'd give a go at swapping those pieces around. And actually, once you pull the two grey tiles off, it's really easy to hook the wedges out. So we're going to put these back in the way they should be. So if we did a brown that way up, and the other brown that way up, and then do the opposites on the white. Oh, if it'll go in, like I said, very tight squeeze. Last one is always a bit of a pain, but if we can get it in on the long edge, we can then push it down. Perfect. Replace those two grey ones. That looks much better. Now it's symmetrical. Like I said, put a bit of greenery around it, see what it looks like. So here we have our archaeologist and our paleontologist looking into their hole they've dug, and they found a lovely Roman mosaic. Not the biggest Roman mosaic you've ever seen in your life, but I think the next stage will be now to design a larger one, which I can again partly cover with soil like I did with the previous one, in a more random shape like this, so it's not a complete floor that they've discovered. They've just discovered part of it. That'll be the next stage. Do a bit of designing, buy a lot more cheese wedges, and get a larger mosaic built. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a better way to go than the previous idea? Let me know what you think. If you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and of course, please do subscribe for more Lego videos.